Do you feel like doing nothing and you are unmotivated to do your daily tasks? Well, you're not alone. This doesn't always mean it's laziness. You might be burnt out. What does it mean to be burnt out? And how is it different from laziness? Hi everyone, it's Raf and welcome back to my channel. Today we are gonna talk about burnout. So what is the difference between burnout and laziness? Laziness is a character trait. So if you are a lazy person, it means that you waste your time and you enjoy wasting it. And it doesn't make you feel uncomfortable or guilty. And you don't like to exert any effort to accomplish a goal, even if you have the ability to do so. On the other hand, burnout, it's when you cannot function physically and mentally. You feel drained emotionally and depleted, and you're not productive as you used to be. But deep inside, you don't like this. You hate wasting your time and you feel angry because it's not easy to have nothing to excite you. It's not easy to not have the energy to do your daily tasks. So that makes you angry. And especially if you are an entrepreneur and have your own business and you are responsible for its success. Now, burnout is a result of prolonged stress, especially in working environments. And it can also be in your relationships with others. Now let's talk about the correlation between burnout and depression. They both have similar symptoms. And actually, although most of studies are still unsure if there's an overlap between depression and burnout, I still think there is to some degree. I believe that burnout can be mixed with depression, sometimes and in some cases, because what causes burnout can lead to depression, and actually feeling burnt out for a long time can also lead to depression. So I do believe that there is a correlation between the two, but not in all cases. Feeling burnt out has so many reasons, and it's so important to know why you feel burnt out, to know how to overcome it. So I'm going to be talking about the causes of burnout, and for every cause I'm going to give you a solution to help you overcome it, hopefully. Number one, you need a break. In some cases, you simply just need a break, especially if you work non-stop. Now, if you are exhausted, don't force yourself to work more or be productive, because the more you resist your feelings, the more stressed you become. So give yourself permission to take a break and rest, to recharge again, and don't feel guilty about it. You have the right to rest and take a break. It's for your mental and physical health. You need to take care of yourself. But at the same time, actually what I love to point out is that to be disciplined and wise about it. And this especially happens when you have your own business and you have the freedom to work or not, because when you get used to resting, it becomes hard for you later to be productive again. And it's like you built a habit, of resting all the time, and then you're gonna have to break that habit again and get used to be productive. So you don't have to worry about this too much. It doesn't always happen, but in case if it happens, I just wanted to point at it. So to avoid burnout in this case, you need to create a balance between your work and your life, away from it. And that's by taking breaks from time to time without waiting until you burn out. So the break should reset you and help you regain your energy again. Now, number two, perfectionism. If you are a perfectionist, you are more likely to experience burnout. Perfectionists pay attention to the small and unnecessary details in work, business, or even their relationships with others. They overcomplicate simple tasks and they work too hard on them because they want to reach perfection. And whatever they achieve doesn't satisfy them because it doesn't look perfect to them. And they always feel that there's something missing. And so they never enjoy their achievements. Also, perfectionists want to do everything themselves because they don't think that others can do it as well as they do. And so they overload themselves with work. Now, over time, eventually, they won't be able to work any harder. And because they're not always satisfied with the results, over time, they will burn out. So how to overcome burnout in this case? Listen, perfection does not exist. And pursuing it is like walking after an illusion. So all you need to do is your best. Not the best, only your best. It's enough and is all you need to be proud of yourself and of what you do. Now, the third reason that you feel burnt out is that you need a reward. Now, when you work too hard on your goal or at the company you work for, and you're not rewarded for what you do, eventually you will burn out. And so you need a reward, to stay motivated and continue working. That reward might not always be tangible. It can be intangible. And actually it turned out that intangible rewards are more important to most of us. So they're like appreciation, recognition, positive feedback, rewards that meet your needs. See, you need to be rewarded to find meaning in what you do and repeat the same behavior, which is so important. When you get a reward, your dopamine increases, and dopamine is a molecule of more. And so it makes you engage in the same behavior in order to get the reward and then, feel good again. Now, dopamine is released when you pursue a goal because it's responsible for motivation and for craving. So when you want something so bad, you have this dopamine that makes you want that thing. And so it moves you, to go and get it. It makes you get off your couch and get things done and take action to reach the reward, the ending result. So I'm gonna give you this simple, common example to explain this to you. Now, when you eat a chocolate bar, you feel happy, right? Because chocolate makes us happy. So your brain sees this experience as a good experience to you. And so this dopamine is gonna make you repeat the behavior to get that chocolate again and feel happy again. Let's say the action is you go to this box, you grab that chocolate, you open it, and you eat it. So dopamine makes you go and repeat the action to get to that result. See, that's why getting a reward is important, because it makes you repeat the same behavior. Now, when you don't get a reward after working too hard for a long time, you eventually feel unmotivated to repeat the same behavior again, because it didn't get you the reward that you were expecting. So you feel depleted and you burn out. And then completing tasks and doing your work feels hard and painful. Now, how to avoid burnout in this case? Let's talk about two cases here. First, if you are a business owner and you feel that your employees feel burnt out, reward them every now and then. Recognize their hard work. Give them positive feedback. Not always and not for every action. Because when you reward someone for every action they take or for every work they do, that reward will lose its value. Now, the second type is when you have your own business and you're not seeing results yet from what you do, or you're not rewarded yet for your work. Here's a technique to apply to not feel burnt out again. Focus on the process. We hear that all the time, right? It means that you need to associate dopamine with your action, and it means feeling rewarded when finishing tasks and doing your work. That's why everyone says, do what you love, or your business should be your passion. Because when you love what you do, every time you put in the effort, you feel good, satisfied, and rewarded, because that's progress and it's an accomplishment in itself. Now, pay attention to this. It's important when you decide to see it like this, because some people think that they're not achieving anything and they're not accomplishing anything until they reach the ending result or they get that reward, and they're not considering the hard work that they are doing every day. And so you can still work for the big reward, for the ending result, of course, because eventually you want to reach your goal, right? But don't rely on it to feel happy. When you associate your dopamine with the ending result only, or the reward, it's like you are delaying enjoyment until you get that reward. It's a belief in your mind that you created. And remember, beliefs are responsible for the way we feel. And so you don't feel satisfied until you get that reward. Now, you need to remember this. Burnout does not happen quickly. It usually happens after failing a few times to get the expected reward, or after waiting for it for a long time and not getting it. So it doesn't happen overnight. Reason number 4, your goal is not clear. When your goal is not clear, there will come a time when you don't know why you do what you do. And then you lose interest in what you do. When you don't have a clear goal, it means that you don't have a vision. And having a vision is so important. When you imagine yourself reaching your goal and being the person that you want to be, or reaching the place that you want to be at, You become motivated to work to fulfill that vision. If you are excited about your goals, you can't sit still. You would do anything to accomplish it, and you will enjoy the process. That's why you don't burn out. And the goal should be meaningful to motivate you enough to accomplish it. So when you feel burnt out, ask yourself this question: do I really want this? And make sure that what you do is what you really want and love and passionate about. Now, reason number 5, your life is not exciting anymore. Of course, everyone has their own reasons to not feel excited about life. So my advice here is to push yourself and engage in the activities that used to be fun to you. And do that even though you don't feel like it. Like, for example, if you used to enjoy walking, just go out and walk again. If your work is your passion and you used to have fun when you were working, push yourself to work again. And in this case, of course, I'm talking about people who have their own business and have the freedom to either work or not. Now, at first, it feels hard and painful, but once you engage yourself in the activities that you used to enjoy one day, you will start feeling good and you're gonna feel like you miss them. And so those activities will trigger you to repeat them again. And slowly you will overcome burnout and feel excited again about life. Now, reason number 6, your reality doesn't meet your expectations. Now, unrealistic expectations lead to burnout, like the expectations that are made in your imagination. Let me give you this example. You always imagine yourself creating your own product and that the product makes a lot of sales in its first month. And then in reality, you really create this product and then you come to sell it, but nobody buys it. So what happens here? You feel disappointed. Why? Because your reality did not meet your expectations. That felt so real in your head. Let me explain this to you. Reaching a high goal is like going up a ladder. So you can't go from the first step to the 10th step immediately, right? You have to go from first step, then the second, and gradually you reach the top. And so when you expect yourself reaching the 10th step immediately, this is like you're setting yourself up for failure, because it is a failure. Nobody can succeed that. So every time you have those unrealistic expectations in your head and in reality you fail to fulfill them, it means that you don't live up to the person that you wanted to be, or you can't be at the place that you wanted to be at. This will disappoint you and you will lose interest in what you do. And then your brain starts producing those negative thoughts, you know, like, I'm a loser, I'm not enough, who am I to have that dream, I don't have enough skills, and so on. And so you feel exhausted and depleted, and you definitely burn out. And of course, this happens when you fail over and over. So my advice to you here, listen, dream big and let your goals be big, but be realistic when you think about the way you're gonna reach that goal or fulfill that dream. Be honest with yourself. Finally, if you feel burnt out, don't sit there and wait for things to work out. Think about the reasons that made you burn out. Find the problem and try to find a solution to it, instead of feeling sad, unmotivated, and complaining about it. Of course, if your work, your business, and your relationships mean to you. And remember this, if you want any situation to be changed, you need to take action to change it. Believe me, you are stronger than you think. Alright, that was it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope it was useful. You can follow me on my other social media platforms. The links are in the description. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you soon.